a lot of men are now leaving it up to women to ask for their phone number, pursue them, holler at them. And we talking about men over 40, right? And it's crazy to me because literally a generation before them, those men were the hunters and, you know what I'm saying, pursuing women. And I'm confused because I don't know what the hell happened. Is it the Me Too movement that fucked this shit up? Or is it the feminist movement, which none I am a part of, okay? I didn't ask for this shit. I'm trying to figure out who dropped the fucking ball, because now we got a whole bunch of men walking around here like they want to be the fucking women and we the fucking men. And it's tiring as fuck, honestly. You meet somebody and they really expect you to like hit them up. They don't do shit.
Man, listen to the entitlement dripping off this. She's really upset that she has to hit him up like a regular human being who's actually interested in someone. Since when did showing a basic level of effort become being the man? They want that traditional protection and pursuit, but they don't want to bring any of that traditional peace or accountability to the table. We aren't dropping the ball. We're just tired of playing a game where the referee is biased and the trophy is made of plastic.
What I noticed lately is that a lot of men rather stay single because they're tired of giving their everything and ending up with nothing. Do you guys agree with that?
It's not that we're tired. It's that we're finally awake to the manipulation. The deal on the table right now is trash. You give 100% of your effort for a 10% chance of respect, and if you complain, you're controlling. If the cost of admission is your peace of mind and your dignity, the seat isn't worth it. Men aren't picking loneliness. They're picking themselves because the competition for our time has finally shifted back to our own goals.
We are losing men to peace. We are losing men to ourselves. Men no longer prioritize women. The man at peace is an unbuyable man. Some women are still thinking that men are in that scenario of chasing after, calling, despairing for the lack of a woman, for her absence, when in reality, today's man, he is increasingly valued. He understood that a woman is not the center of his life, that a woman is not the most important thing in the world. It is perfectly possible to live without one. Today's high-value man, he seeks to make money. He seeks to do business. He seeks to grow, to develop himself. He removed women from his focus. Today's man, he realized that his peace is worth more. There is no relationship that can buy his peace. Today's man, he is unbuyable. He is non-negotiable. The peace he chose for his life has become non-negotiable. If you are a woman and are waiting for a man to venerate you, a man to idolize you, a man to dote on you, I'm very sorry, but perhaps that won't happen, because the more time passes, the more we have seen that today's generation of men is not like the generation of old. And it is we women who have been losing high-value men, serious men, hardworking men, dedicated men.
Finally, a real assessment of the situation. When she says we are losing men to peace, she's admitting that the environment women created is the opposite of peace. A man who values himself is unbuyable because you can't dangle attention over his head as a reward anymore. We've realized that being the center of our own lives isn't selfish. It's survival. It's not that we hate women. It's just that we finally love our sanity more.
While I'm here, I thought maybe we'll do another rant as well. So dating is so out for 2026. It's not even fucking funny. The clarity, headspace, consistent mood, lack of fucking emotional roller coaster is top tear. So at the end of last year, I grew some balls and I went on Hinge again, fucking randomly. And there was this hot guy on there and I was like, wow, this guy's hot. Anyway, he was so funny and nice and super keen to catch up. The day rolls around that we're meant to be catching up and he goes, I don't know, it's kind of weird to be meeting someone off an app. And I was like, what are you doing here? I don't want a fucking pen pal. That was one of my prompts. That was quite funny, might I add. Never again. Like, I'm dedicating this year to me. 100%. Love that for me. Bye, love you.
I love how they always say dating is out while they're actively scrolling through Hinge looking for the next hot guy to validate them. She's only dedicating the year to herself because she couldn't force a stranger to follow her specific timeline for entertainment. That pen pal line is just a classic shaming tactic, used when a man doesn't provide the instant gratification she thinks she's owed. If he had pushed too hard to meet, she'd call him a creep. But since he hesitated, he's the problem.
You want to know why men are leaving relationships today? Because you became his biggest source of stress. Men are going to leave relationships when women become the biggest stress factor in their goddamn life. The reality of it is right now is that ladies out there, you're telling yourself a comforting lie. You're calling him a narcissist, an abuser, that he was treating you badly, that he was cheating, he was checking out other women, he was doing all of these things. But the reality of it is, you became his biggest source of stress. He came home to nagging and drama. He came home to someone that was never happy with anything that he did. He came home to someone that was consistently belittling him, putting him down, and mentally draining every ounce of him, while still having to worry about the bills and everything else that needed to be met. His work, his family, his friends, being the source of income for plenty of people around him, and at the same time being told that anything he did wasn't good enough, and if he spoke up, it wasn't fair what he said. Don't be his stress.
She hit the nail on the head. The home is supposed to be the one place on this earth where you aren't being judged or hunted. If I'm out here grinding to make sure the bills are paid and everyone is straight, and I come back to a woman who only has a script for what I'm not doing, what's the incentive? They want the traditional benefits without providing the traditional respect, and that math just doesn't add up anymore. We're choosing that loneliness they're so shocked about because a quiet house doesn't drain your soul.
All right, this is for my girls. One, be nice. Be nice to men. Because I've had a restored faith in men that are like actually having the guts to just like come up to women. And if you're mean to them, you're going to scare them. So don't do that. But I do have a restored faith in men. And I think part of it comes from women being nice, women being open to like just like one, look up from your phone. If you're going for a walk, look up from your phone. Don't have RBF. Actually, that's probably okay. But just like inviting, like smile at somebody if they walk past, like don't be freaking creepy, but like smile at them. The amount of people I've met on my walks is insane. Literally a guy just walked past. I walked past him. He then like turned around and he was like, hey, excuse me. And then like asked me about restaurant options around the neighborhood. I'm just like, you can meet people if you're willing to just look up from your phone, give a smile, make eye contact. Like we don't have to look like we don't want to talk to humans. We can look like we want to talk to humans, but like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of girls are like, guys just don't. And I'm like, they will if you're nice. Stop being pissy when they walk up. Stop being annoyed. Stop assuming the worst in every man. Like, don't get off on freaking rejecting them. Be nice. You can say, no, I'm good, thank you. But be nice if you're going to do it. But like, just look up. Smile. But don't be like annoyed that people, like guys aren't approaching you if you're not being approachable. You know? Anyway, I literally just met a new person while walking. The amount of people, like literally all my friends lately have been because I'm like walking. That's how I meet them. Because I smile. I don't look at my phone the whole time. It's not that hard. Anyway, just my 2 cents. Be nice. Be nice. Women, be nice to men because we don't need to scare them off. They're finally getting the guts to talk to people again. Let's not scare them off by rejecting every single one of them and like embarrassing them in the process. Be nice.
It's a little too late for the Be Nice campaign when the social contract has already been shredded. She talks about men finally getting the guts, but it was never about fear. It was about the risk to reward ratio. Why would a man of substance risk his peace for a conversation that'll probably end up as a creep story on someone's timeline? You can't build a culture that rewards being unapproachable and then act shocked when men take you at your word. A smile is cool, but it doesn't fix the lack of respect that drove us away in the first place.
Why men don't want to date women anymore. One bad pick for him can cost years for him. His reputation, his money, his sanity. 2, he's not guaranteed a woman that will actually take accountability. There's a lot of dating advice out there that makes men seem like the bad guy 24/7, that the woman can never do any wrong. And quite frankly, a lot of men are fed up with that. 3, a lot of men are sick of being a therapist rather than being her boyfriend or her husband or her partner. He's expected to do husband duties right off the bat, but she's not expected to do any wife duties right off the bat. Ladies, if he takes you out on a date, make him some muffins or cookies beforehand. He'll love it. 4, ghosting is often normalized. If a man says, "Oh, I was ghosted by a woman that I was dating," no one cares. People have no empathy for him or don't feel bad. That woman's never held accountable. It's like we tell men, "Oh, if you're not interested, you need to tell her. You need to talk to her." But that same exact energy is not given to men. "Oh, she ghosted you? Well, what did you do?" It's never, "Why can't women just send a quick text?" 5, validation addiction. A lot of women just want validation from men. They keep them in the friend zone. They collect them like Pokemon cards, and they're not actually interested in dating him. So he ends up feeling used and taken advantage of when he didn't do anything to deserve that.
It's the total lack of empathy for the male experience that really poisons the well. If a man ghosts, he's a narcissist. But if a woman does it, the world asks, what did he do to deserve it? This culture has made it so women are never the problem, which means they never have to be the solution. It's exhausting being the only one expected to hold a moral compass, while the other side gets to act on feelings with zero accountability. We didn't choose loneliness. We just chose to stop being the only ones forced to play fair.
It's Valentine's Day, and 70% of men are choosing to stay single. And I don't even blame them, and this shouldn't be a shock to anybody. Dating in this generation is so impossible, and I can talk about it for literally days. It feels like every single woman in this generation is either a gold digger or a bop or both. And so yeah, a lot of men are saying, we choose to be single, we're not gonna deal with this anymore, and I get it. I wouldn't either. That sounds awful. I just saw someone say something today about how I would rather be single than settle. And yeah, me too. I get it. That's me too. But it's crazy because you'll see women come online and be like, men are so sad and they're so single and they're so alone, but not me. I'm having a good time, just the men are having a bad time. And it's like, girl, be so serious for 2 minutes. Anyway, so happy Valentine's Day to all the singles out there. We see each other. We're right there.
It's actually deep that we've reached a point where a woman can look at her own generation and see nothing but gold diggers and clout chasers. That tells you everything you need to know about the lack of accountability and the impact of this modern me-first propaganda. Men aren't picking loneliness. They're picking a quiet house over a lifestyle that drains their spirit and their bank account. We've lost the ability to build anything real because the foundation is now built on greed instead of character.
So it's been brought to my attention that men no longer want to come up to women anymore. Due to sex allegations, women being just so rude and disrespectful and rejection. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know men didn't want to come up to women anymore. I'm barely finding this out. Why do women choose to cuss guys out when they come up to them and approach them? I have no idea.
For years now, women have asked men to stop approaching them. It's weird, it's creepy. So now that men are doing what women ask them to do, the women don't like it. And women a lot of times don't know what they want. Just like in this situation. Women for years now have wanted to make money, lead, pay bills, act like men. Now they're saying they don't want to do that anymore. They want to go back to the house. They want to cook, clean, take care of the kids, and take care of the house. A lot of times women don't be knowing what they want. Just like in this situation, women ask men to stop approaching them. And now that men have done it, a lot of women are saying that's a problem. They're saying that men don't want to be men anymore. Men are not approaching women like they used to back in the old days. Because back in the old days, men didn't really care what women wanted. They just did what they wanted to do. But now these men actually care what y'all want and what y'all say, and they're listening to y'all. And it's a problem. Y'all literally asked for this, and now it's a problem. From the disrespect to the cussing now to the name calling you might get called for approaching a woman, it's not worth it. So why would men do it?
It's a simple case of be careful what you wish for. Because men finally took the instructions literally. For years, the move was to label every approach as creepy or aggressive. So the brothers just pivoted to their own peace and progress. Now that the attention supply has hit zero, they want to act like we've lost our way as men. In reality, we just decided that our reputation and freedom are worth more than a 5-minute conversation with someone who views us as a threat by default.
I'm going to make this really, really simple for you, okay? So just listen up. Harassing women versus going up to them and having a conversation with them when they make it clear that they want to be talked to are two completely different things. And if you do not know the difference between those situations, then I highly, highly recommend don't approach them. I'm not sure how me walking outside and being catcalled and being said, hey baby, hey, you look good today. Oh, your dog's so cute. Hey, convince your mommy to let me take her out to dinner is even in the same realm for you as just approaching a woman, having a conversation and asking her out. Once again, if you really can't tell the difference, just don't approach her. I guarantee you she will be really thankful for it.
I love how she says, I guarantee she will be thankful for it. Like it's a threat. Not realizing that men are already taking her up on that offer in record numbers. She thinks she's teaching a lesson, but she's really just describing why the dating market is a ghost town for women in 2026. Men aren't harassing anymore. They're just ignoring you entirely and focusing on their own peace. It's funny because they'll be thankful for the silence right up until they realize nobody is coming to build a life with them.
I hate when I see a man that's so fine and then I pass him and he doesn't say anything. Like when people say, oh, girls don't shoot their shot. Yes, they do. If I look at you like this, like say you walking this way and I'm walking like this, and if I look at you like this, that's me shooting my shot. Come say something.
A glance is a shot now? Since when did basic eye contact become a full court press? They really want us to do the approach, the conversation, and the heavy lifting while they just stand there looking fine and doing the bare minimum. Brothers are walking right past because the mystery of what's behind that look isn't worth the potential headache of finding out she's got a nasty attitude.
Look, let's keep it 100. What's happening right now in 2026 isn't guys being lonely. It's guys walking away from a bad deal. For years, society told men that chasing women was toxic, annoying, and borderline harassment. So the brothers finally listened. We backed off. We took all that time and energy and put it into our own money, our own goals, and our own peace of mind. Now women are in utter shock because all that free attention dried up. You can't run around calling men creeps or narcissists just for breathing and then get mad when the streets are quiet. We didn't drop the ball. We just left the court. Why would a guy risk his mental health, his bank account, and his good name for a game where the rules change every single day?
A quiet, empty house is worth way more than a stressful relationship. Guys are tired of being treated like walking ATMs, free therapists, or just another number on a roster to boost somebody's ego. We finally figured out that being by yourself is 1,000,000 times better than being with someone who just drains the life out of you. We found our peace, and we aren't trading it for anything. If you're rocking with the truth, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.